there's the great Pat DeMarco. What's up, brother?
Well, what's going on, guys? How are you?
Good, man. Hey, I haven't gotten to this yet. I'll mention some other ones here in a little bit, but have you had a chance to see much of Spencer Rattler this season in particular? How about yesterday?
I've watched like highlights. I haven't watched a full Saints game, but I mean everything I've been seeing, social media and publicity. Oh, I forget who it was. It was somebody that they lost to 2 weeks ago. Was like, it's really a shame that they have not won a game yet because he is playing his tail off. He's going to be a household name in this league for a long time. But I did see they were able to get a victory here yesterday for the first time, which is good.
You want to hear the stat of the day on him, guys? This snuck up on me. So Rattler with the win. He becomes the first Saints drafted quarterback to deliver a win since 1998.
Whoa.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I guess Drew Brees had a good run there, and he was not from there.
He was drafted by the Chargers.
Yeah. And then Jameis Winston was there, and yeah.
Drafted by the Bucks.
Yeah.
Who was it?
Oh, who was it in 1998? I have no idea. That I don't have that intel. I just know that snapped a 27-year drought. So wow. Good for Spencer. He's got virtually nothing in terms of weaponry around him. Like he's playing against a stacked deck every week, and he's fighting his butt off just to like make plays. But he's always had the arm talent.
That ball he threw to Shaheed on that bomb yesterday was a pearl right in stride.
Perfect.
Yeah, I mean they're so. I mean, Alvin Kamara is not the Alvin Kamara that we knew 3-4 years ago. Chris Olave coming off an injury last year as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean Spencer's. I mean, and the crazy thing is they've been in of the 5 games. They've been in 3 of them like. Late or beginning of the fourth quarter at least, and then it just kind of gotten away from him.
And you remember his combine, one of the reasons why he dropped in the draft, I mean, there were a few, but I think he ran like a 4.9. But when you watch him in game speed, when the pocket collapses and he has an alley, he still makes plays with his legs, just like he did at Carolina. Like, I don't care if he runs a 4.9. I just know he's making good plays. When he needs to run, he runs, and he's not slow at all. He just doesn't run a good 40.
Yeah, he's instinctive for sure, and knows when to tuck it and knows when to get it out. He's a good football player. I'm glad he was a Gamecock his last 2 years.
He's only thrown 1 pick this year in 177 attempts as well. I think the most impressive thing about what happened yesterday, we had an up close and personal seat to watch him in Columbia. I expected him to be a good player in the NFL. I think a lot of people did. But I also, when he spoke after the game yesterday, it reminded you of how much garbage that floated with him when he came to Columbia and all this nonsense about what type of teammate he was and all that. It was just a bunch of crap. You remember that, Pat? And Shane spent like the first year that Spencer was in town basically telling everybody that's all hogwash. Yesterday his press conference was everything was about his teammates. He was crediting everybody but himself. I don't even know if he used the word I one time. I mean, he's such a great teammate. I hope they can put it together around him down there. He can play for a long time in the NFL.
Well, I mean, being I think he was a 5th-round pick. Like that's how like franchises are built, right? Drafting a quarterback who's not in the first round, getting some good play out of him, getting really good pieces around them before their contract year comes up. So yeah, I mean, I would imagine they're gonna start stacking the deck, and I would imagine next year they're gonna be a lot more competitive.
Yeah, they got themselves in salary cap hell. They went all in a couple of years ago and thought they had a Super Bowl team, and then they didn't, and then they were strapped financially with the cap. So you're looking at a roster that's just not real good, but you know how quickly that can turn, Pat, in the NFL.
Yep.
Just a couple good drafts, the right free agents. Okay, I have the answer to that question that you posed to me. The last guy before Rattler, last Saints drafted quarterback to win a game, Danny Werfel in 1998.
Oh, wow. Chomp,
Remember,
chomp.
Mike Ditka
Wow.
took him, and like I
Yeah.
think he was like a fourth rounder. He did not have arm strength or a great release, but he did win some games. That's the last guy. So Spencer Rattler follows Danny Werfel.
Wow.
Yeah.
What a
The trivia
great.
question I would never
Yeah.
get right there.
Take that to the water cooler on a Monday.
Yeah.
It's great company. Good for Spencer. All right, Pat, Gamecocks are set to embark on some rough waters here. It will be the most difficult stretch in college football. I don't have to go through 60 some odd schedules to figure that out. I think we just take a peek and go, yeah, that's going to be hard.
Yeah. 4, 5, 6, 8, and 11.
Right. And that 11 is on the road in Baton Rouge.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that they've had a few days to get healthy, kind of hang around, take a little bit of time off, get back to work. Coming out of that Kentucky game, and we've had time to digest some things now, Pat, through 5 games.
Mhm.
What about this football team leaves you feeling optimistic going into this stretch?
I mean, it's a tough, tight group. Like that's what's one thing I think every Shane Beamer team that we've had here in Carolina, it's always been a resilient group that never kind of rolls over. And I also think just in like the true Gamecock way, this is a chip on their shoulder team, right? They were told they've been told for the last 5 weeks they're not very good, and Coach Beamer works, and he's a head down guy, kind of ignore the noise on the outside. So I would imagine kind of the word in the locker room or the word in that building is like, let's go prove everybody wrong. Yeah, we got a tough schedule, but all 10 of our 12 games every single year are tough. So like, what's the difference? We knew we knew this going into the season that it was going to be a tough road, and the opportunity is now here to go prove everybody wrong. And like I've always said, in order to be the best, you got to beat the best. And Coach Beamer's never shied away from that type of confidence going into these games. Is look, every week's a challenge. Let's go attack this one head on.
Yeah, he is very much about we get to play this schedule, which is an opportunistic approach to it. What about on the other side of this thing? Obviously, that Carolina's had some issues, and they have maybe been finding some answers to some of them. But what leaves you a little pessimistic from a football standpoint?
I mean, both teams are coming off a bye week, which,
Pardon me.
if you look at LSU, like, yeah, they beat Clemson going in like week 1, which everybody was like, damn, like, and it was a good game. Clemson's not the Clemson that we're used to seeing. It's not like they beat a Florida team that was pretty down in the dumps too. It's not like they blew out Florida. It was a pretty tight game. And then to lose a close one a week and a half to go to Ole Miss. Like, I don't think that I wouldn't say that LSU is unbeatable. I would say that no team on our schedule is unbeatable looking at these next 7 weeks. But, it's an opportunity to go compete against a really good quarterback, against one of the better defenses, everybody keeps saying, in the SEC. But, I mean, I don't think they don't have first round receiver, second round running back on the like LSU's roster isn't completely stacked like it has been in the past. I mean, shit, last year we had them beat, right? Less a couple, ref interference calls. And that was a lot better LSU team on paper. So I think it's a good opportunity for us to put our foot down. I mean, obviously coming off the win against Kentucky played Georgia about the same as they played us. It wasn't much different from a scoring standpoint. But we've also had a week. I think the thing so far this year is like we haven't found our true identity. And it's been kind of a hodgepodge of plays. We've talked about it a bunch. There's kind of not really that much of a rhyme or reason, at least on offense. We run duo, we run counter. Like, who do we really want to be? Where's our consistency? And this was, I think, last week, knowing Shane from when I was on staff there, Shane, bye week is not a bye week. Bye week is a get better week. So I think there's probably a lot of self-reflection, some self-scout, and I think always been a really good second half team over these last 5 years under Coach Beamer. So I expect us to stuff to really shake out and for us to really go out and attack these next 5 weeks head on.
How much do you think that revenge, you mentioned that game last year, how much do you think that revenge is a motivating factor, or do you think it's even something that's being discussed in that building?
Really, I mean, I would imagine it's something that had been discussed but not harped on. I mean, there's a lot of new players on this team that last year's game had no effect on too, which is another piece. But I'm sure all the players knew that going into this year, that the LSU and the Alabama games were the two games that kept us out of the playoff. And I don't know. Like as a former player, like I'm not going to harp on that much, and I don't think they are, and I don't think the coaching staff is. Like I think it's more the mindset is let's go 1-0 this week, and let's put our best foot forward. Bye week, we got better, we got healthier. Now it's time to go kick some butt.
Mm-hmm. Part of that butt kicking, if you will, would come from South Carolina's ability to run the football. And obviously that has been something that's been talked about a lot this year. It was rejuvenated a little bit last weekend when Lenore Sellers was able to scramble around and pick up a bunch of yards. But they got to get a little bit more from their tailbacks. Pat, I went back and watched the game a couple of times last week, and it seems like this isn't just on one. It seems like anybody who's in there toting the rock are missing some holes. What have you seen this group thus far throughout 5 games?
Yeah, I think they are hearing some of the noise of they need more output, so they're trying to go for home runs. And the way you hit home runs is by dropping down a bunt and getting on first base a couple times, and then you'll end up finding the gap. Like I know, talking just from my playing time with guys like Devontae Freeman, Steven Jackson, Frank Gore, LaShawn McCoy, like it's never a first quarter of the game, let's go out and hit home runs all day, but let's take punches, let's take rib shots, let's wear this defense down. And like the big plays are going to pop. I mean, if you can have 3 to 4 explosive plays in the run game, 15 yards or better, like you're going to have a very strong yards per carry average and wear a team down, because it's like each one of those plays, it's not going untouched for 40 yards. It's breaking a tackle. It's hitting the right gap and bouncing off a guy. It's, having a guy out of gap or these big plays. So it's just about trusting the play, trusting your offensive line to, set up or get off double teams and work to the second level in the back, really to press those holes and set stuff up. So I think outside of stressing and trying to make a big play when a big play is not there, just like I thought Matt Fuller played a good game. It wasn't sexy, but I'll tell you what, he dropped his shoulder, he leaned forward, he hit the gaps he was supposed to hit, he fell forward. And I think if he can do that, and Rasul and Attaway, and then obviously getting Lenoris more involved in the run game, which I've said several times, is only going to help.
It is so interesting you said that, man. I circled 3 plays last week that were just there, and running backs just kind of going in the wrong direction, not following dudes. I mean, and those were all big gainers. I'm talking 15, 20-yard plus gainers. If you tack on 2 of those, you're talking about a 210, 215-yard game on the ground last week with a couple of big bangers. People are looking at this a lot differently. I think that's why Lenoris and Coach Beamer and Coach Shula have repeatedly said we're really not that far away. Like, it's not as bad as it looks. The more that you watch it and you pay attention to some of these little things like you guys do, I try to put my head on y'all's shoulders and like, what are they seeing? And now I see it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that LSU can't just completely shut it down. Of course they can. But there's just a few plays here and there that it's like, man, you rip that off. You got another first down. You're on the plus side of the field. You got a chance to score. And this thing looks a lot different than it did. Lenore Sellers, though, throwing the football he's been really, really good throughout the season as far as throwing the football. You mentioned the run game, but in the pass game, what could continue to improve that?
I think protection one, but I also think, I'm a run game guy, right, at heart. Like, you asked me to drop a couple pass plays, I'm going to draw most of them going to the running back. But The run game is only going to help. It's only going to help the pass game. Like so being able to physically impose your will and gain 4 or 5 yards a pop in the run game is only going to suck the defense up and give you more shots. I think like run action, RPOs, like the threat of that stuff is really going to make a defense on at least their front 8 be honest and not tee off. Like, where Lenore's has struggled this year, it's been when under duress, right? It's taking sacks. It's, trying to escape when a guy's open and stuff like that. So I think if we can get him more comfortable and set him up for some easy pass plays off the run action and one being able to run the ball, it's going to let him be able to see the field more clearly and not freak out and be like I'm on my second hitch. Like I got to get this thing out and really trust it.
And they just need to throw the ball to Mo Brown more. I mean, 44 is the best player on the field, guys. Let's just be honest. Every time he's out there, something good happens.
He's definitely intimidating with that neck roll and the belly rolled up. Like he's and then I mean the clip you showed of the big hit on kickoff coverage, like oh man, I need to send you that picture of fullbacks help with culture and toughness or scheme and culture. I think was the sign guy. I'll send it to you after this.
Fullbacks are people too. Yeah, I feel like Mo Brown could be a fullback, a tight end, or a linebacker. I mean, this kid could be anything you want him to be. Speaking of that side of the ball, it is a banged up Garrett Nussmeier. Again, you can believe Brian Kelly all you want to, Pat. This as well as anybody out there. Oblique issues don't vanish. It doesn't take 2 weeks. It takes months for those things to go away. So obviously he is nursing something there.
I didn't realize he's thrown the ball 171 times in 5 games.
They have no running game.
Yeah, I mean
they don't run it. Durham's been hurt too.
Yeah.
So what's the approach if you're South Carolina? They got a quarterback who maybe one wrong hit could really affect things. Carolina's a pretty risky defense anyways. They'll put their corners out there on islands. I know Nussmeier likes to see that certainly, but how would you approach this thing?
Yeah, I mean, I think you get pressure when you need to get pressure, but I don't think you overload the box too much and put yourself too susceptible to big plays of the pass game, especially since they don't have a dominant run game. And if you don't need to have an extra hat in the box to stop the run game, there's no reason to have it there. But I mean, you do know that. I mean, Clayton's very creative, right? Whether it's true pressures or whether it's pressures that abort, whether you bring a bunch but you have P droppers dropping out. I mean, there's a lot of exotic looks that Clayton White brings and really messes with defense. I mean, that interception that Nicky had last year, like he was blitzing on the line of scrimmage and he made a pick 14 yards deep in the secondary. So I think just a blend of looks will be huge, but obviously limiting their explosive plays and not letting them, throw a hitch or a curl or a shallow cross and taking it 60, 70 yards. Limiting big plays is going to be huge with us this game.
Do you feel like coming off the Kentucky game, and again, I know that people want to take a little bit of credit away because it was just Kentucky. I understand that, but I felt like the front four for South Carolina's defense, regardless of competition, really took a big step in their cohesive ability to get to the quarterback, regardless of who that is. Do you feel like those guys have kind of come into their own enough now to where they can do what you just mentioned a moment ago? Hey, let's see what our front four can do in this game before we start flying guys all around the ballpark.
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely had more output over the last 2 to 3 weeks and have caused some havoc in the backfield, whether it's sacks or just hits on the quarterback. Those things take a toll. I do think, but the variety of looks that you can give, like whether you're just rushing 4 or rushing 5 or rushing 6 or sending 7, like affecting the passer can happen in many different ways and by different people. So I mean, I don't think we're at a standpoint where we can sit there and run cover 2, Tampa 2, and rush 4 and expect to get pressure on a consistent basis. But I think if we have some exotic looks and bring 4 or 5 in different variations. Like I like, 3-man overload, send a slide one way and then have number 6 1-on-1 with the play side tackle, and do different stuff like that. Again, also the TE games and the ET games, which we saw last week, worked. Like I think we're going to see a lot of the same. If it's not broke, don't fix it. But you definitely do have to affect Nussmeier. If you let him sit back there, he will pick you apart.
Who do you think is the most important player this week to do that?
I mean, Dylan Stewart's going to be the circled one, right? They're going to have chip help. They're going to try to slide to him. So whoever has that, the other side defensive end getting the one-on-one reps on a pretty consistent basis, like that's a guy that really has to make some stuff happen. And then obviously, if you have those pressures off the edge, like where does a quarterback want to go? He wants to advance and stay in the pocket and stay clean. So your 3 techniques or your shade and your 3 technique have to at least affect him by pushing the pocket and walking those interior guys back into the lap of the quarterback. So I mean, it's a valiant effort by everybody involved. But in order to be able to affect the quarterback, you have to be really good in coverage as well. Like if you get beat off the line of scrimmage, I don't care how good your pass rush is, that ball's out.
Mm-hmm. Regardless of Garrett Nussmeier and his health, let's say he is pretty healthy going into the game or feels really good. They got him enough shots. He's as numb as he can get. If South Carolina is able to make this a what you would call one-dimensional game, maybe they are able to really put a stop to that LSU run game, what do you feel, or how do you like the Gamecocks' chances then, even if it's forcing Nussmeier to throw? I mean, he's maybe the best passing quarterback when he's healthy in college football, maybe. But if he's throwing it 35, 40 times, how do you feel like Carolina's going to do?
I mean, our secondary has always been one of the stronger suits we've had. Like I would say teams that have beat us over the last 4 or 5 years have just ran it right down our throat, right? Have just overpowered us. So like if it becomes a finesse game and teams have to, as long as you're not giving up huge chunk plays in the pass game, if you're making a team drive the field, like Clayton White and Torian Gray have proven it over the last 5 years that we're going to force 1 or 2 turnovers, whether punching the ball out or getting a pick. So, I mean, I think this is a good matchup for us. And like we always kind of elevate in these type games too, just as a program, as a culture. This is a game that South Carolina is going to come out and put our best foot forward.
It's another night kick, another night. I think it's the 5th straight night game, which is
recruiting, man. Recruiting. It's you're not recruiting the DeMarco kids to go to many of these games. That's for sure. As late as they are, but I'll tell you what, you're recruiting better prospects. I was a 2-star. I wouldn't have been invited to a game like this. I was a noon invite guy. But no, I mean the atmosphere for a night game is awesome all the time. So,
especially down there.
Can we talk? I know we got to go soon, but
you're good.
How spot on was Steve Spurrier?
We mentioned him today about a couple of things. What are you referencing? Which one?
If Arch Manning was good enough to win the Heisman this year, why was he sitting behind Quinn Ewers last year? And we're sitting here and they lose to Florida, and I would imagine he had the biggest smile on his face when that game happened. But I'll tell you what, like some people don't like his antics and how he does certain things, but the man's a straight shooter. And on top of that, I don't know if it's publicly known, and hopefully some of my former teammates at Carolina listen to your show, because we are having a 2010 reunion for the Alabama game this year. So want that to get known. Coach Spurrier is going to be here. A lot of big name guys that played on that team will be here. It'll be a good time. It'll be a full weekend. I'm sure a big party on Friday night, followed by the reunion on Saturday, and a little bit of a celebration in Willie B when our Gamecocks take on the number 8 Alabama Crimson Tide on that Saturday, the 25th.
I got 2 follow-ups to that. One, is he playing in the golf tournament on Friday?
He's not. I did ask him about it, and he said, "Yeah, DeMarco." That's not really a tournament for me.
And the other
is an honorary letterman.
That's what that was. That exactly. All right, and then the other one, which you probably don't have any, but I'll just start the speculation now. Is will he be the guy who hops out of the cockaboose to start the Gamecock chant? Knowing Coach Spurrier, who probably did want to decline that invitation, but they just need to keep asking him.
That's a good question. That might be something I need to do some intel on, because that would be pretty darn cool if he was the guy to do that. I don't think Coach Spurrier at 80 years old is jumping out of a cockaboose. He might need help out of the cockaboose. But that would be pretty darn cool. I mean, how cool was that a week and a half ago when Connor came out? I mean,
that was
gives you chills, right?
And nobody knew it was happening. People were asking me, like, "Did you know that?" I'm like, "I had no idea. Nobody knew anything about that. I don't even think Shane knew that Connor was doing it."
Yeah, I talked to Connor last week, and he's doing good, which is great to hear.
It's this is I was talking to Bill Gunner the other day. I said, "Man, we get so caught up in football and we forget a lot of things sometimes. Look, I mean, just look at this community that we know. Look what Bill has been going through and is still going through health-wise. Travian, Connor, people that we know that have real issues in life. And it minimizes football in a hurry, and any other sport for that matter. I do want to ask you one more quick football question. Vandrevius Jacobs, he's got back-to-back 100-yard games. What have you seen from him? How has he kind of come into his own as a wide receiver? He's certainly a guy they're going to need on Saturday in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, well, I think it also helps being the guy that's kind of just like goes under the radar, is steady Eddie, works hard, makes plays when plays are called. But I don't think that he is. Do you think that he's earned his way into scouting reports now? And I don't think necessarily going into Kentucky last week he was a scouting report guy. But he has definitely become a force, and he's, getting, 5-6 targets a game is pretty big in college football, and he's making stuff happen with those. So I definitely would love to see play 2 or 3 for them just to take a shot and throw the ball over everybody's head to Nick Harbor and just see what happens. Which I think that'll help you keep your defense honest. But no, I mean, there's been a lot of guys in that receiver room that have had some plays this year, so which is good to see, and that's only going to be a growing room because it's a young room. So they're just going to keep getting better and better.
Yeah, I still love the future of Rowe. I still think they obviously think he's ready to start making an impact with the amount he's played and the targets that he's getting. I'll cap my part of this with another water cooler note for you. Take this to the office, Pat. So Jacobs has a chance to have 3 straight 100-yard receiving games.
Yep.
Last Gamecock who did that?
I bet it's somebody he knows well.
I mean, I would love to say Alshon, but I think it's probably Farrow.
Jamie?
I'm gonna go with Alshon.
Deebo Samuel.
Oh, okay.
Who had a big game yesterday in the NFL. Deebo went for 106 against UT Chat, 106 in the Swamp, and then 210 at Clemson in 2018.
2018. Hey,
yeah.
That's my guy.
Boom.
Yeah.
He's unbelievable.
Well, and he probably had a couple handoffs and returns.
Right. Returns.
He probably had 200 plus all-purpose yards in all 3 of those games too.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he is a special talent and a lot of fun to watch.
All right. Well, you had a kicker on there last weekend or last Wednesday. What's the hint for the guest on Tailgate Talks this Wednesday?
I don't even know how to give a hint to this individual. They've been, I don't even know.
Did he play at South Carolina?
He did not play at South Carolina.
Okay. Did he play at LSU?
He did not play at LSU.
Did he play any sport at all?
No, he did not play any sport at all.
Is he Chef Turner?
No, I don't even know how to the hints would be so obvious. I need to do some brainstorming for Guess the Guest, which Weston, I don't know if you guys see it on social media, but Weston does all the guest drawing. So he blocks the people out, my 9-year-old.
Yeah.
And I would imagine when I give him the picture to do it this week, and he's like, who is this, Dad? Like, why am I drawing this person?
Well, this is intriguing. As intriguing of a guess as you've had.
Yeah.
You can't, there's nothing like, what line of work is he in or she?
It's a he. And I mean, the hint I'm going to give you is probably not going to be nuts, but his last name is 4 letters. Okay. I don't know if that helps at all.
No, I'm stumped on this one. I've got the last couple, but this one I'm stumped on.
Yeah,
I'll have to text you in a minute. You just tell me.
Well, I'm going to send you the fullback picture, and then we can get to chatting.
Okay, I won't tell anybody. I just want to know.
Bill Burr.
No.
You have any stand-up comedians coming on?
No. Well, you know, there's a Billy Byrne who was a linebacker at Carolina, as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
No. Okay. Yeah, I'm pretty stumped. Just send it to me in a text. I won't say anything. I won't ruin Wednesday's performance by you and Steven. Don't worry.
Deal.
Steven could do that on his own.
Just give him a couple drinks.
That's exactly right. All right, brother.
All right.
All the best to you and Kirsten and the kids and
Elton John
this week. Oh, John.
That would be good if you pulled that off.
We'll keep guessing.
All right, boys.
Thanks, dude.
See you guys.
See you.